right? I share the meal plan. And so I thought that if I hosted just a 15, 20-minute quick nutrition workshop on how to create our own meal plan and maybe share with you the steps that I take, when I create a meal plan for myself, for the family, and mostly for myself. And then what I do is I just add some things for the family because I'm pretty much in charge. I would say I like to take over like the nutrition part because I want to eat what I want to eat. And if everyone else wants to join me, then they can join me. And they really don't budge. They don't fuss about what I make. So and I would say we all start differently in our journeys, right? Because I'm 5 years in, some of you are 1 year in, 2 years in, and you're still trying to figure out how this works for you, how it fits for your family, because we got picky eaters. Yes or no? We got picky eaters in our family, and it's not easy to try to get them to, eat the vegetables. I think it's the hardest part. The fried foods and all the bread and all of that, I think it's just making the healthier substitutions to start off with. The whole grain, even wheat can be a little bit, I would say, just depending on the person, if they need gluten-free or they have digestive issues. Wheat is a seed, so the body has a hard time digesting it sometimes. It's a seed. It's not meant to digest. It's meant to be planted and grow. So that's why sometimes it's hard for people to eat whole wheat. So even wheat is something you want to switch to whole grain, or sprouted grain you can get at health food stores. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys first in the challenge. So if you guys are hopping on, welcome guys. I'm going to do my best with my voice and stuff and just share with you guys the meal plan, how to actually put together a meal plan using some of the resources. So I'm going to share with you guys my screen. Thank you again for joining us. I totally didn't expect to be at this capacity or non-capacity of my health, but I'm glad that you guys are here. And I am recording this session so that I can share with those ladies that cannot be on here. It won't go anywhere but in our group, so no worries, okay? So what you guys see here is the actual challenge group. And in the challenge group, I did share today pretty much a similar video, but what I'm going to share today is just a little bit more concise, much smaller time, the basics of meal planning. And meal planning, maybe you guys can share with me one or two things, or one thing. When it comes to meal planning, what do you struggle with the most? Anyone, all of you guys can share. Sylvia, when it comes to meal planning.
For me, it's just eating on time and just making sure I have I think I've shared this with you, that I'm pretty good the first Monday through Thursday, half Thursday, but once it comes to dinner on Thursday and Friday, it's I'm out of food and I didn't have time to prep. So that's one of the things that I know I mentioned to you we're going to be working on this year, maybe doing some crock pot meals that are frozen, something like that. But I think that's my biggest challenge.
So just planning enough for the entire week?
Yes.
Okay. So planning enough foods that are ready to go sometimes for those busy days or... Okay. Yes. Tanya, Blanca, or Kidia, what do you guys think? What's the meal planning? It's what you're going to eat for the week or for the day or for lunch, for dinner. Meal planning can also consist of what kind of meals are you going to prep for your family or,
one of the things that I had problems with the last time that I did this was be able to incorporate my food with the kids as well. So I know we talked about it, but it was still hard for me. So when I do the meal prep and I put it all in my container so that I could just take it to go, then I kind of get bored with it and it doesn't taste the same as when you just cook it. But then you just can't cook for you, and then it becomes like a chore, like too much to do. So that's my challenge.
So for you is food for the family, yeah, and we talked about it, but it's okay to revisit those same struggles because it's still a struggle, right? It's still something that we can focus on a weekly basis. And with practice, we'll get better. And I will share, that it's a conversation I had to have with Felipe, with my kids. My kids are still really young. The girls are a little older, so they didn't have they had a harder time than the babies to eat what we eat. And when I say to eat what we eat, it was more so the vegetables, the broccoli, the asparagus. And I don't force them to eat that kind of stuff. We don't do fast food. If you guys see, it's like In-N-Out. We order out, take out like Outback. If we do, we'll go out to a seafood place because I love mariscos. I'll just stay away from all the fried food. Well, marisco seafood, right? So I won't do the chips or the soda. So it's still healthier food options, and I stick through the portions. And so, but I'll share a little bit more how we incorporate food for the family during the meal planning process. Tanya, Blanca, thank you, ladies.
Can you hear me? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Blanca, what do you feel like when, I know this is your first ever challenge and you did Clean Week and you prepared for Clean Week. What do you think was the hardest part, or what do you think is the biggest struggle for you when it comes to meal planning?
For me, variety, because I get bored real quick with the same thing.
So like if you were to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, eggs and spinach and a healthy fat, is that to you boring? Do you consider that boring, eating that every other day?
Kind of.
Okay. What do you do now?
Well, everything now is unhealthy.
Say that again.
Right now, basically the way that I eat is unhealthy. So it's kind of changing, the way that I eat.
Okay. Do you eat something different like every day for breakfast?
If I eat breakfast, yeah.
Okay. That's okay. And we're here to learn. And so there's zero judgment. And this helps me, like, while I'm walking through the nutrition part, like, how we can add the variety, how we can switch it up, and where you'll be able to find, like, new recipes if you are getting bored of the actual meal plan that I provide you. And I do that because I go back a little further and I think, how busy are we truly? We're so busy. And then we're already on a path where we don't eat at all in the mornings or for lunch or dinner. And so we start off with maybe incorporating two separate breakfasts every other day. And then if you need a third breakfast, which maybe over the weekend, you can change that up a little bit more, then that's where we can come in and add variety. But to start off with, because we're not eating, like that was me. I wasn't eating sometimes until 2 p.m. or even dinner time, because I would just get up, pack the kids their bags for, babysitter or school, and work, right? So variety, I agree with you. I struggled with that too, and I needed variety. And when I first started, I didn't follow a meal plan. I just made sure to stick with my portions. And then I found that too much variety was stressing too many of the ladies because we were so busy in the mornings. And so I'll share a little bit of both when I'm walking through this part here by creating a daily meal plan. Tanya, do you want to share?
I actually love meal prepping. I think it makes my life easy, and my whole family has gotten used to it. My problem is dinners, because sometimes if my husband's home, he works for the railroad, so he's gone a lot. But when he's home and he wants to go out and eat dinner, I rarely tell him no, because that's the time we all get to spend together. What I should say, how about we cook together in the kitchen and make it? But I don't do that, and so that's my downfall, because I don't control myself when I go out and eat. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's my downfall. I think out of everything else, though, it does make life convenient. It makes the mornings great. It makes the lunches easy. And I only do 3 days. I don't do a full week so I don't get bored, because I heard somebody else say they get bored. But if I only meal prep for 3 days and then the next 3 days I'll meal prep again. So that makes it convenient and a mix for me.
Awesome. And I've seen your meal prep and you kill it. I'm like, oh my God, you're so good. And I think like I've seen all your meals for the week, and you have mentioned that dinners, and I get it too, like because we meal prep for breakfast and for lunch and our snacks. Felipe, my husband too, would say, like, let's get some takeout. And I had to be like, no, we already know how that goes. Like, and it's a struggle. It is a struggle, and it's something that I think it's a daily thing we have to work on. Like, it's not something like, oh, I'm going to just be on it for 7 days and I'm going to have my mindset that it's not going to happen. But I think it's something we approach on a regular basis, like you say, because you don't want to say no, and it's your time together. And, it just feels good to kind of, you're trying to meet a happy medium. You already meal prep. Well, then let's do this for dinner. And so when it comes to dinner, do you have time to cook dinner?
We do. I do.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm saying I know I don't make the right choice. And that's something that I need to work on myself, is just saying, hey, we've got the stuff here. Let's just hang out in the kitchen, and let's just make dinner.
Okay.
And we don't do fast food, but I just don't make right choices when I go and eat somewhere.
I see. Yeah, that's tough when everything on the menu looks so good.
Yeah. What
are your favorite go-to places for dinner?
We do a lot of mariscos too. So that's one thing that we do. Bad pizza. I love pizza, but we do that every now and then. It's not as often, but yeah, Mexican food is definitely something we'll go out and do.
Okay.
My meal preps are not Mexican food based. A lot of them are not. Because I follow I don't know how to use the containers very well. I do use them, but I use them for the foods we eat. So, but if you do like arroz and stuff, I don't know how to put that in the container in small amounts, so.
Okay, so like the rice, you have these though, yeah?
I do.
Okay.
I do have those.
Okay.
But when I look at the rice portion, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's just not going to be like a, something I'm going to eat with arroz and frijoles and, something else. So I don't know. It's a little bit harder for me when I see it in the container and I prep it. It just doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, it's like having to get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Sylvia too. Sylvia's really good about meal prepping. Sylvia.
Yeah. No, it's funny what she was saying, because I went through that stage where I was like, okay, so what is what? And it's funny because now I go and it's like, I don't even see like rice. It's like, okay, that's my yellow, that's my green, that's my red. And so I'm looking at foods and I'm like saying colors. So but I remember doing that. It was like so confusing at first, but now it's a process. It's a learning process, like just like anything else. And it does take time, but yeah, I know I had to look into my, take out like my 21-day fix, which was the original that I had, and like look through it and like, okay, and really plan out my meals. Like at first I really had to write down everything that I was going to do to make sure I had like my yellows and my reds and my greens, and the amounts that I needed. But now I think it's just getting easier. And I have to say, it was like a good 2 to 3 month process for me to like do that. But I had to like write everything down, and that really helped. And also like to spread out like I love my Mexican food, and I do cook a lot of Mexican food. And to me, I really haven't made a lot of changes in what I cook. It's just been like the portion amount and spreading it out throughout the day, rather than sitting down and eating like big portion sizes like the dinner time. Mm-hmm. So that's been one of the things where I can have so many of my yellows, but it's going to be throughout the day. And so but it's been a process. It's been a learning process, and I remember myself being there, like where so what is what. But my husband during the summer, he also works. He drives and he works crazy hours. So I totally get what she was saying too, that going out to eat, because he would come home and he'd be like, no, don't cook, let's go out somewhere. you know, I just want to spend time with you and let's go out. So yeah, so I had to like tell him, no, okay, no, there's certain places I can't go, and there's certain places I can. You know, we would do like Pollo Loco, we would do like a lot of those. Yeah. So yeah, so those are like, even now, those are like our go-to places. Like we'll go to the Mexican restaurants, but you know, I'll be very mindful of what I eat. So, and it's like, I'm already, so even if I know they're going to bring me a big portion, I'll ask like beforehand, can you bring me a box? Because right immediately before I put my fork in the food, it's like, I'll like, I kind of already can eye out my portions if I'm out eating. So I'll do that, and then I'll just eat whatever I have on my plate. But those are like little things, because I have the same thing where it's like family time and quality time, and it's so funny because when you're out eating with family and you know, you kind of, okay, I'll have a little bit more, and oh, let me have a little bit of what you're having, and it'll go like that very easily.
Yeah,
so,
no, I totally get it, and I appreciate you guys sharing, because as you guys can see, we all have like similar struggles or different struggles, but we all have struggles. Like we all have struggles, and a couple of things, like when we go out to eat, I also do the same thing. Like we only stick to certain specific restaurants, and every time I go to a restaurant, I eat the same thing. It's not like, oh, I pick a different dish on the menu. We go to that restaurant because I love that meal. Even for breakfast, I pretty much stick to the same thing because I don't have a lot of time in the morning. And for lunchtime, well, we meal prep everything. So that's ready to go there. And so I take into consideration your guys' struggles. And this is why I said I need to host this nutrition workshop so I can share with you guys like how you guys can use the actual Beachbody nutrition plans. All of you guys here have Beachbody on demand. I pulled up the 21-day fix eating plan. Every single eating plan that we have in our portal, in our Beachbody on demand, whether it's, you know, Quarter Fours or 80-day obsession once that launches next week, Clean Week. Oh, this one here has so much variety in it. I love it. Shift Shop has an amazing eating plan. Every single nutrition plan that we have here, you can take those recipes and you can create your plan by using a meal planner. Now, if you see here, can you guys see my screen by any chance? Like, can you see me?
No, not really.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Oh, there.
Okay, so this is a full week's worth. The nutrition worksheet that I have, the meal planner, is 1 day's worth. So what I do is I take 2 of those worksheets, the meal planner, and I tell myself, one is planned like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, I don't know if you guys want to write this. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the other day for the meal planner is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now, most of us have the weekend off. So that's why sometimes you only plan for a week, and on the weekends, you may have a little bit more flexibility. That's where you know, if you take a look at your personal calendar and you say, well, no, on the weekends I'm busy. So that's where you're going to ask yourself, should I stick to the meals that I have here? Now, what am I going to prepare for the kids? We'll add that. But first, we got to take care of you guys, right? Because then you're worried about yourselves and you're worried about everyone else. If you know what you're eating and you have those foods ready to go, I guarantee you guys, or I promise you guys, that it's going to be less stress to try to cook. Maybe it's not as stressful to cook another meal for the family. Why? Because you already have your foods ready to go. And if your family is struggling with health issues, with being overweight, with any of that stuff, then there should be no reason why they can't eat how you're eating. But a lot of times younger kids don't really need portion control if they're super busy. If they're active, like playing sports, Instead of having them sit in the house all day, have them do some stuff outside, get them doing some chores. But again, the nutrition plan, that's what I follow. This is a full week. The one I give you guys in the actual, like the workbook, and that I email you, has the grocery list. It has an actual, like the 7 days, and it does repeat every other day for the same reason, so that you're not overwhelmed with buying all kinds of food that may go to waste, or it may not if you have a family who's also eating what you're eating. And also, I know you're busy, so like, why try to add so much variety at the beginning of your journey? Maybe try this out for 3 weeks, and if that doesn't work for you, well, then you change it up the next 3 weeks. We're creating a lifestyle, not a quick fix. So I don't want you to feel like you're just gonna be married to this eating plan for the rest of your life, because you're not. Okay, you get to switch it up as often as you want. But I also want you to take into consideration, you got to work out, you got your work schedule, you got your family schedule, you got all kinds of stuff going on in your day. Okay, and so when we do these meal plans for you guys as a coach, we're taking into consideration all those other things, but mostly making sure that you're sticking to your plan as much as possible, and that it's simple, that it's not all crazy busy and you're having to go to the store and like spend all this money, right? Because sometimes we got a budget for that too. So I have here, I'm going to share my screen again. This is the meal planner. And I'm going to share with you an example using the 21-day fix, three-day sample plan. So if you guys take a look at this, it gives you 3 options for breakfast. You can have hard-boiled eggs, cooked oats, and apples for breakfast. Or you can have Greek yogurt, whole grain cereal, and blueberries. Or you can have turkey bacon, yum, bread, and strawberries. So you get 3 options there. So then what you do is you can take that meal planner, you could take this meal planner, and in the breakfast area, at the top, you're gonna put your calorie plan. Okay, mine is plan B, so it's the one between 1,500 and 1,799, right? We each have our different calorie target that we have to stick to, at least for the first 3 weeks of our plan. And if you lose some weight, well, then we change it up. It is a calorie deficit plan. However, it's still way more food than I know that most of us get on a daily basis before starting this. So let's see here. So for breakfast, you get 3 options. Now remember, I'm using the 21-day fixed nutrition plan. You have all the other plans that you can choose from. Maybe this isn't something you want here. Or maybe you want to have tacos, breakfast tacos. Now you don't want to have tortillas every single day, okay? That's one thing I do recommend. Do not eat tortillas every single day. Don't eat bread every single day, because it takes a little longer for your body to digest, and it's going to store it in your stomach, stored fat, okay? So which one of these 3 would you guys choose for breakfast? Hard-boiled eggs, or even eggs. It doesn't have to be hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, or turkey bacon. If you guys have a notepad out, you guys can write it down. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on the weekends, it's an open, breakfast day. You guys can eat something else if that's where you want to add variety on Saturday and Sunday. And then you go back to your plan Monday through Friday. Why? Because you have a very busy work schedule, family schedule, or whatnot. And again, if you want to add that variety Monday through Friday, where you want to add all these 3, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then repeat it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, it's a free day. Free day doesn't mean you eat whatever amount of portions, just means, you can stray off the meal plan.
Does every single exercise have a different meal plan? Because I know you got this one at the 21-day fix, right?
Yeah, this is from the 21-day fix. Yeah, it has different recipes. They offer a ton of different recipes from each of the different workouts. If you go to One of my other favorite ones, like I said, is the Country Heat meal plan. If I can find Country Heat. I like to go by trainers. There it is, Country Heat. In Country Heat, Autumn again is a really good, these are all nutritionists, they're all experts, so their nutrition plans are amazing. The Shift Shop nutrition plan is really good. And when I say nutrition plan, it's like the meals that they recommend. Look at this. Oh my God. Tortillas, fajitas, shrimp, pasta. This is a whole grain pizza. So good, ladies. So what you have to do though, if you guys see, you guys have to take the time. You do want to go off of the meal plan. And what I want you guys to know is that you guys can create your plan and share it with me. And that's how you'll like, to make sure that you're on the right track, right? And I guarantee you that after 3 weeks, you're going to be like, oh, I can do this. Like I can create my own weekly or 3-day meal plan by using.
I can use that one because actually it does look good. If I'm doing the other exercise.
Yeah, you can use any meal plan.
Yeah, that looks way better.
Look at this one. This is the Country Heat. Look at 3 options. You can have, oh, they kind of put the same thing in this one too because it's autumn. So that's probably why I was like, oh, I'm all over it. But look at for lunch, you get 3 options for lunch. So if you're using the meal planner, okay, if you're using the meal planner for lunchtime, you get to go back to the meal plan and you go to the lunch options. You have mixed salad, grilled chicken breast, cooked quinoa, or you can have grilled salmon. If you don't like salmon, maybe you can do some other type of fish or other type of protein. Or if you're vegan, I do have some girls that are vegan. So they have temp or snow peas and broccoli. And then we go to the lunch, right? You get your 2 snacks, okay? And that's where you go back to the meal planner. And in the snack portion, you're going to write it down and you're going to calculate how many portions. And as you see at the top of this, you're going to input here how many greens, purple, red, yellow, blues, and orange and teaspoons you're allowed for the day. And as you're writing out your plan, you're just like, I use tally, like I do little tallies. For breakfast, I have 1 green. For lunch, I have another green. And for dinner, I have another green. In my plan, we need 4 greens. So I added to my Shakeology. I add spinach to my Shakeology all the time. Most of the time I add it. So for dinner time, flank steak, just do fajitas, carrots, grilled chicken with seasoning, kale. You can choose any vegetable. These are just your options. Grilled veggie burger, again, she adds a vegan option. But you can do any of the plans and you're gonna be okay. Let me pull up a different meal plan so I can share this with you guys. You guys have any questions? Tell me, what do you guys think?
I like the fact that we can mix it. Like we can.
Yeah, variety. Variety so you guys don't get bored. I definitely don't want you guys getting bored. I do want you guys to have your main focus though to be that you're going to add a little bit more food to your day since before starting your plan, maybe you were skipping breakfast and lunch and maybe having a big dinner. So a big victory for you would probably be that you at least eat your 3 meals and your 2 snacks. And then that could be one of your first week goal for this challenge, for the New Year challenge. I got to eat my 3 meals, my 2 snacks, and then maybe in week 2, I can add a little bit more variety. But if you're ready to add variety and add all your meals for the week, more power to you. Like, go for it. Like, don't hold yourselves back. Definitely don't hold yourselves back. And then you have me as your coach. You have the rest of the ladies in the group. We're here. I can, accountability, right? You can share your plan with me and say, Elizabeth, how does this look? Like, look at, I have this for breakfast for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Sunday. Or I have this for, dinner and lunch. The only thing that I'm going to do is make sure that you're eating the right amount of portions. I'm not going to tell you, no, you can't eat, no, you can't have fajitas. I am going to say, stay away from heavy carbs at nighttime. Try to have your pastas and your bread and all of that during like your breakfast and lunch. And for dinner, add your sweet potato. You can have whole grain pasta, but try not to have it every single day because it's just a little bit heavier and it takes longer to digest. And if you are going out to dinner and, it's a restaurant with pasta, just limit yourself, But you're not restricted to the foods. And of course, look at beans, cucumbers, avocado, good stuff here. And all of these here, these are your food groups, right? The foods at the top of the list are the healthiest because they have the highest nutritional value and lowest content of fat. Now, we still need healthy fats. Like, don't stay away from healthy fats. Do stay away from products that say low fat because what they do is they remove the good fats and they add sugar content, artificial sugar. Blanca, I believe you had a question on that. So I'm so glad you asked that about the yogurt.
Yeah.
I learned that through a nutrition class. I was like, oh my God, it makes sense. Because when you remove fat from foods, it takes away the flavor. So they add sugar to give it flavor. But it's all the bad sugars. The sugars we're trying not to have.
Right.
I'm trying to get to the to her meal plan for 21-day fix. She has a lot of options. Peanut butter and strawberry oatmeal. These are her options. So you can choose. I know a lot of times I like to do also the egg muffins when I know I'm going to have a busy week in the mornings because I can make the egg muffins this weekend and then I'll have them ready to go for the next 3 days. And they taste good reheated. Just added some salsa on it and a little bit of cheese. If you want cheese, then you're good to go.
Yeah, I make those too. They're really good.
Yeah, they're good. How do you make them?
It depends. I usually put just the egg and then I'll put spinach in it. And
Okay.
then some onion. And then sometimes I'll put cheese. It all depends.
Okay.
And then I just bake them. And then I put them in Ziploc bags afterwards.
Yeah.